Welcome to Challenging ParadigmX. What is a time millionaire? Has everything been said on podcasts already? How do you challenge the paradigm that you need to talk on a podcast? My guest today is Cloed Baumgartner. Cloed is an innovation manager, impact venture builder, and passionate mentor. She has specialized in the field of business model innovation and crowdfunding. She has advised numerous project starters, helped to raise over 3 million euro, and developed the accelerator crowdfunders hub on this topic. She also teaches at various universities in Austria. With her new venture, EXPEERTS.club, she enables radical connectedness among feminist women worldwide in order to achieve SDG 5. In this episode, Cloed challenges the paradigm of podcasting. So, if you're interested to find out how, stay tuned. So, welcome, Cloed, to my podcast. I'm very happy to have you here. Please introduce yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
Hi, thank you for the invitation. I'm really happy to be here and quite excited. I run an agency for innovation and entrepreneurship, and I'm a missionary for entrepreneurial thinking. And I like bottom-up processes. They should work as decentralized as possible and involve people. And I also love crowdfunding as a method to raise independent funding and test ideas in the market. I think it's a very sustainable way to test ideas and start an innovation. And I do a lot of teaching and training in the fields of crowdfunding and also how to start a business. I teach at universities and stuff like that. But most of all, I love to call myself an enabler of radical connectedness. This is a new term that I came up. I love the word radical because I guess that people start to listen when they hear it. What do I mean by enabler of radical connectedness? It's another term for community builder. I'm also a feminist missionary of the SDG 5. SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals by 2030 of the UN. And number 5 is to achieve gender equality. And I really work towards this. This is an impact that I want to have. And one way to achieve that is that I build a secret community of experts, women experts, and experts. The brand of it is EXPEERTS.club. It's a mixture between experts and peers. The peer is inside the experts. Nobody knows how to pronounce it correct. That's bad, I know. But okay, so it's EXPEERTS.club, and we build small accountability teams of 5 or 6 women who meet on a regular basis, and they learn how to be vulnerable, how to talk about their goals, and how to talk about challenges that they are facing. And we help each other grow and help each other shine and help each other move forward faster towards a fair future for us, for all, for everyone. So this is what we do. And I also like to call myself a time millionaire because I work as little as possible, and I always start with myself when it comes to conserving resources. I also like the phrase define your enough in so many ways. This is somehow a mantra. I love to say define your enough and think about how much do I really need to be happy? How much do I really need to sustain my business? I'm self-employed. And still, I think if we all work less and we all use less resources, then we can really change something. Yeah, that's a phrase that I really like, define your enough. And why do I say that I'm a time millionaire? I think that we all own equal time in life and lots of it. And I think that's fair. That's a fair premise. We all start from the same starting point somehow. We all own millions of minutes. if you assume, for example, a normal lifetime of 80 years. And I always say, if people ask me, what do you want to become? I say, I want to be rich and famous. Not rich, yeah, rich and famous, I always said. I mean, it's just nonsense. It doesn't mean anything, but I guess that I'm already a little bit famous because I'm on your podcast now, and I defined rich. What does it mean, rich? I defined for myself, I defined it rich in time. I'm a time millionaire, and you too, basically, and I love that. Yeah. I think it's poor luxury also to spend time together here on that podcast now, and it's a great pleasure to be here. And you said it's my stage, Claude. It's your stage. Say whatever you want and do whatever you want. And I thought about what could I tell you, or what could I tell our possible audience. And I listen to a lot of podcasts. I love to learn every day. Really, really, it inspires me. And but it's all already said. Everything is already said. So what can I possibly tell you? What can I say? I think it's nothing. Just you know, just nothing. I mean, basically, I want to talk to you about nothing today, about time and nothing. And what does it mean when you combine this in a podcast? Yeah. We have a certain time here. We say the podcast will take maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes. And the stage is mine. So I think that I want to challenge your podcast. I want to challenge the paradigm of a podcast. A podcast is about telling people how wise you are and what you did in your life and everything. And I want to challenge that and just be quiet with you and talk about nothing. Are you with me? Are you in it?
It's your stage,
It's my stage.
and you
I
make the
think
rules.
I think that I would love to take the time here and just be quiet and not do parallel work or do some deep work. And I think that the one of the axioms of Václavic is you cannot not communicate. So basically, I do communicate here something. I want to prove something. I want to show something, and I want to give. I want to give us time to digest what we heard in the last year, or what we experienced, what we learned. And I think it's so valuable to just stay silent and take the time and feel the time, how the minutes drop. And I'm also a little bit nervous because I don't know how long I can stand it to be quiet and to say nothing. And we will see, right? And I'm also curious if the listeners will stay with us. So basically, I would love to know how they feel about it later, or also in the reactions or in the comments. So I would really love to get some feedback on that, if they stayed with us, if they are curious to know if we really stand the silence or not. And yeah, if you are okay with it, I would say let's just start and do maybe, as we already talked for a few minutes, maybe 20 minutes of silence, 20 minutes of not saying anything. Okay?
Sure, let's go into silence. And whenever you feel like you want to continue or give the next impulse, whichever it is, feel free. So if it's after 10 minutes, it's after 10. It's really up to you. It's your stage.
You also, if you have an input, or if you feel like you want to add something to this silence, or just feel free, right? I mean, it's not a law here. But
Definitely.
I will eat and drink. It's not
Sure.
about yeah. It's just okay. It's hard to break it. I really like to do that. I really, really, really like to do that. Sit here and just be silent. I really like it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for challenging my podcast.
I define my enough that it's enough, and I think it's not really enough for me now. I could stay longer, but I also think about our audience somehow, and I think for the first try we can finish the challenge and maybe discuss it later on if we can, what we do with it or what we found out or something. It's really interesting. I really like to be here with you. I really liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think I could do it longer. Maybe we do an experience once, how long we can really do it.
So, I'm sure we can leave it here. The only question is, would you like to say how you felt? Or shall we leave it for another time?
Oh, as I said, I really liked it. I liked it a lot. It was super awesome and really short. And how did you feel?
I just meditated, so I felt good.
Oh, you can meditate. I can't, but I have a lot in my head, you know. I can stay with myself for long. It's a lot going on in my head, so it's never boring. And I hope that our audience is the same and they enjoyed the time that we gifted to them to just think about whatever they want.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Okay, so then I would like to thank you very much for this new format in challenging a podcast and challenging the podcast, challenging ParadigmX. So it is a paradigm that you have to talk in the podcast. So it's a very special experience also for me. And I hope I have you back again and to talk about other topics as well, because I think the topics you usually talk about are very, very interesting. So let's see how it goes from here.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you for staying tuned for this edition of Challenging Paradigm X. If you like this episode with Cloed Baumgartner, feel free to share it with your community. In the show notes, you will find the links to our work. Please hit subscribe and rate my podcast if you liked it. I'd be also glad if you write me a review. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me. Next week, we are up with another edition of Challenging Paradigm X. Until then, I wish you a great week.